Hello and welcome to this week's special edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. I'm Kevin Oxher. Thanks for joining us. Job one for cattle producers is ensuring their animals, whether a cow, a calf, or in the feedlot, stay healthy. This week, we're sharing some expert insights on animal health and the keys to keeping your herd healthy with some of our favorite stories from our friends at Merck Animal Health. Let's have a look. Cattle producers put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into making their operations successful. The last thing any of them want to deal with in their herd is respiratory disease. It's a significant animal health issue and costs producers an average of $15 per calf per year. That equates to over $1 billion problem for our industry. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brian Baxter visited South Carolina to see how one family operation works to prevent calf respiratory disease.
We're a family-operated Angus seed stock operation. We run about 900 brood cows on 2,500 acres. Also have a herd of commercial cattle.
Our primary purpose for existence is to produce Angus bulls for the commercial cattle industry. And pretty much everything we do revolves around that and trying to create a total picture to produce bulls that'll go out and work for people, that'll be trouble-free, and go out and produce the type of cattle that the industry needs today.
Kevin and Lydia Yan run a family-owned and operated Angus seed stock outfit in Ridge Spring, South Carolina. The Yans take a lot of pride not only in raising top-quality cattle, but also in their customer service.
It's very important to us that the cattle, when they leave here, go perform and do well for their new owners. And we want to do everything in our power to make those cattle perform well.
With their livelihood riding on producing healthy cattle that meet their customers' high expectations, the Yans can't risk a respiratory disease setback in their herd.
I can just imagine from a cost standpoint, from a reassurance standpoint, to be able to tell our customers that everything's under control and that the health is good, and then to know that we've had a respiratory outbreak would really be a problem for me to be able to stand behind our cattle.
Cattle are how we make our living, and we need them to be healthy and we need them to perform, and we have sales scheduled twice a year, and we need cattle to sell. A respiratory outbreak would be very detrimental.
Keeping their herd healthy and profitable means doing everything they can to prevent respiratory disease. Kevin and Lydia say a good overall herd health program is the foundation to a successful operation.
We don't have a problem, we don't want a problem, and we don't want our customers to have a problem. Our goal is to sell bulls to people that go out, work for them, that make them want to tell their neighbor, I got this bull, he's great, I hadn't had any trouble with him, I'm going back to get my next one from there.
We have a very stringent herd health program here at Yan Family Farms. We work very closely with our local veterinarian, Dr. Jeff Norden, scheduling and mapping out our herd health program throughout the year.
It takes a team approach, and you have to break it down in components and work out a good game plan in order to successfully manage it.
Every year, their game plan includes a strong vaccination program to ensure their cattle are protected from respiratory disease from the very beginning.
The vaccination program is the critical component of a herd health program. Without a good vaccination program, without a good vaccine, you're probably doomed from the start. I don't think that you can really overemphasize the importance of a good vaccination program.
A respiratory vaccine is just the basis of what we do. They work. When we wean cattle, we don't need to worry about a respiratory blow up, and when we use good products and do it in the proper manner, we haven't had problems with respiratory disease.
The basic respiratory diseases that cattle need to be vaccinated for are IBR, BVD type 1 and 2, BRSV, PI3 or parainfluenza 3, and then Mannheimia hemolytica and Pasteurella multocida.
The Yans use the Vista line of vaccines as part of their vaccination program and fortunately have never had to address any respiratory disease setback in their herd.
We want our cattle to be bulletproof when they leave here. We've used Vista, been very pleased with the results. It has worked well.
Vista is a very good choice for respiratory vaccine because it offers the most complete protection on the market today. And it's also one dose, so it's not a vaccine that has to be boosted every time. and it's the only vaccine that's on the market that is modified live for the virals and an avirulent live on the Pasteurella portion.
Vista is a good vaccine. I think you need a vaccine that's certainly efficacious. You need a vaccine that has a long duration of immunity. You need a vaccine that has a low reactivity rate, and you also need one that's cost efficient.
It could just be really devastating if you did have a respiratory outbreak, and fortunately we have not been in that situation, and I attribute that to the fact that we've had such a good prevention program and that our vaccines have worked and been effective.
The Jans rely on Vista and Vision not only because they effectively prevent respiratory disease, but also because they're less stressful on the cattle.
We vaccinate calves at 3 to 5 months of age, and then again 2 to 3 weeks prior to weaning to get that immune response, getting those cattle ready to be weaned, using just Vista once and Vision at weaning.
After we vaccinate calves, we don't see the calves go through what we would think of as a typical stress period. They still seem pretty much just like they did the day before you worked them, after you've run them through the chute and vaccinated them, done whatever else, tattooing or whatever else you were doing to them that day.
When we look at respiratory protection, what we're actually trying to do is immunize the animal against the threats that it's got to meet, but we don't want to immunize it with a vaccine that's going to cost us so much in production. And Vista appears to be a very mild vaccine. As you heard Lydia say earlier, they've seen no stress from the vaccine.
A comprehensive vaccination program is just one component to preventing respiratory disease. A strong nutrition program, starting with calves nursing soon after birth to ensure they're getting colostrum, is critical in order for the cattle to respond effectively to the vaccines.
Colostrum quality is most important. We know that a calf just needs to get up, nurse, and hopefully he's going to have a very high quality colostrum, but we feel like nutrition and a good herd health vaccination program improves the quality of that colostrum.
When we vaccinate, we think the fact that we have taken care of them from all the other standpoints makes that whole vaccine process easier on them and the vaccine work effectively.
Despite the best vaccination and nutrition programs, calves can still pick up viruses and contract pneumonia. Dr. Newcomb says observing the animals on a regular basis is important to diagnosing and treating the disease early.
It's important because respiratory disease can travel pretty fast between the animals. So once you start seeing 1 or 2 animals, you'll start seeing the whole herd start getting an outbreak. Once an animal contracts respiratory disease, that can affect its production throughout its lifetime.
The Jans know that with any program, it takes many components working together to be successful and effective. While a strong vaccination program is important for ensuring the overall health of the herd, they say it's just one piece of the puzzle.
Isn't any one area that is going to make our herd more productive. It's the genetic component, it's the nutritional component, it's the herd health component. Parasite control is the basis for having a good herd health program, as cattle with parasites aren't going to respond to the vaccines and get the immune response that we're looking for. It's a system that it takes all of them done properly for our herd to be productive.
They all work together as pieces of the puzzle. If one component of the puzzle is missing, then we have an incomplete product to sell. So we try to fill in all the blanks and put all the pieces together that can help us create a product that's trouble-free for our customers.
If you look at nutrition, you look at parasite control, you look at stress management, those are all the foundations that you have to build a herd health program on. You want to minimize stress, you want to maximize the calf's immunity, and you want to maximize the calf's nutritional status. And when you vaccinate, you want to use the most complete vaccine out there on the market today, and that's going to be Vista.
Caring for their cattle and staying up to date on their herd health program is a way of life for Kevin and Lydia Jan, and it's a quality that many people take notice of.
Kevin and Lydia, they're go-getters. They pay attention to detail. They go the extra mile. They grasp new concepts, and they're willing to change depending upon the market conditions.
We've just been entrusted to be stewards of the cattle and the land, and we take that very seriously. And we feel very blessed to get to do it every day.
we get to see better scenery and more miracles every day than, most people get to see in a lifetime. It's just what we love doing, and I hope we get to do it for a long time to come.
Reporting from Jan Family Farms in Ridge Spring, South Carolina, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
To learn more about the Vista and Vision vaccines from Merck Animal Health, visit the website merckanimalhealthusa.com.